Today's show is sponsored by Convene Communities. I'm excited because a platform with a purpose is where Convene Community resides. It is a community of network of individuals who come together for the purpose of learning and sharing experiences and knowledge and working towards personal transformation. The members of these communities have access to exclusive content, resources, tools, and events that can help them achieve success. It is a group of real people living real lives, having real experiences, convening communities. Check out my bio link in Instagram and on YouTube for your information so you can join Convene Communities for free. Welcome to Talk to Me. I'm your host, Brenda Warren, and I am excited today because I am talking to none other than the fabulous Miss Kristie Stocker. She is the CEO of Kinetik Edge. And I have a question. What do you get when you mix one part energetic problem solver with a generous portion of leadership expertise and a sprinkle of marathon running? You get Kristie Stocker, an award-winning keynote speaker, success coach, and leadership consultant. Kristie is also a leadership and high performance company owner that works with firms to transform their high achievers into rock star leaders so they can boost their bottom line, build bench strength, and create competitive advantage. As the CEO of Kinetik Edge, she's been coaching and mentoring driven professionals since 2002 on how to advance their self leadership skills and take their success to unbelievable levels. See, I messed that up. Her clients like Bosch, Lockheed Martin, Leadership Association, and the Institute of Management Accountants know Kristie as an expert in helping them become excuse breakers, fear crushing, goal exceeding leaders. When she's not conducting leadership retreats or coaching high achievers to become sought after leaders, she's helping thousands of audience members create the purpose-filled life they've always wanted, which is why she is my guest today. Here on Face It Friday, Kristie Stocker is going to help you break barriers to success. So I'm excited to have Kristie join me here on Face It Friday. Hey, Kristie, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, what's going on, Brenda? Happy Friday.
Thank you. You know, on Face It Friday, I bring on guests that help us face something that we really need to take a hold of. And for you, one of the things that I was really excited about is that you are all about breaking barriers to success. You help people put the puzzle pieces together that allow them to not only build their leadership skills, but also live their best life now, something that I'm really passionate about. I want everybody to live their best life now, no opportunity wasted. So today we're going to talk about that. But before we get into that specific talk, I want to know, how did you become a barrier breaker, a leadership coach, and all the stuff that you're doing currently?
Oh, well, I guess I had to break my own barrier. When you were talking earlier, you said creating a purpose-filled life. And where I was in corporate. I was in corporate for like 20 years in corporate communications, and I was in design and marketing. And I figured out that was not my purpose. And so
Mhm.
that's actually how I became a success coach. I've always had a passion for mentoring and coaching. I've always had a passion for leadership and professional
Mhm.
development, even when I was in high school. But unfortunately, I kind of ignored that little inkling, that passion. And so I said, oh, I got to go into arts. I'm good at arts. And that's what I did. But pretty soon, my job just wasn't doing it for me.
Mhm.
And if you're out there, you probably may feel the same where you felt stuck. And so I decided to make the leap. I started getting with mentors and people that were already speaking and helping others and coaching others. And those mentors guided me and said, hey, here are the things that you need to think about. And so it took a little bit of soul searching, but I really do believe in living your best life and living a purpose-filled life. That is the key with my philosophy, is living a purpose-filled life. And I kind of made the jump. I mean, I won't go into it too long, but um, it took a little faith, took a little courage, and I attribute a lot of my mentors. I had
Mhm.
really good mentors, and I surrounded myself with really good people that guided me. And that's actually how I built my leadership and consulting business, because it was that passion to help others. Because at one point I felt stuck and I went through a lot of experiences, and I said, you know what? I'm sure there's a lot of other people that feel stuck too. And I was
Absolutely.
right. And so that's why I was like, you know what? I just need to do this. I need to get out there and I need to help people in their leadership journey and guide them to creating a life filled with purpose and doing what they really love. So that's actually how I got connected with it.
That's great to hear, Kristie, because that goes right in line with my next question is when I ask people, what's stopping you from living your purposeful life and keeping you from achieving the levels of success you really crave? Could you talk a little bit about how you help people get past those barriers?
Well, I help them based on experience, right, Brenda? So when I decided to quit corporate, it wasn't like, oh, I just want to be a success coach and a speaker, and poof, there I am. I'm out. See you
Mhm,
guys later. Bye bye. Drop the mic and quit the
mhm,
job. Some people might do that, but that's not actually what I did. I had a lot of fear, and
mhm.
so when you're talking about barriers, fear is probably one of the largest barriers. And I'm not just talking about failure, I'm talking about fear of success. A
Ooh, yeah.
lot of people underestimate the fear of success because they say, well, what if I am successful in building my own business or leaving the IT field and becoming a vet tech or becoming a writer or whatever it
Mhm,
is? You know, that fear of success, of blowing up and maybe actually achieving the dream that you really wanted, a lot of people don't even think about that. So I feel what I help people with is their fear. We really get deep down into what the fear is. And it could be somebody in the past said, well, you amount to nothing, you don't have the
mhm,
smarts, you don't have the know-how, you don't have this, that, and the other. And so that gets into their head. And unfortunately, that molds them into, well, this is my life right here. This is what I'm good at, and this is it because, I'm just not good at anything else. Or it could be you tried something and you failed. Good for
mhm.
you if you did, right? Because
Okay,
now you know what works and what doesn't. Good. But sometimes people take that to heart, that failure, especially
mhm,
some personality types, they really take failure to heart and they don't want to do it again because they don't want to feel those feelings again. So, guess what? Where do they stay? In their
mhm.
comfort zone, right? And that's why everybody always talks about breaking out of your comfort zone because when you're all nice and cozy in the comfort zone, nothing happens. So the last thing that I want people to do is what I do. I call it the rocking chair test.
Okay.
Imagine yourself, you're 90 years old, you're in a rocking chair, and you're looking back on your life on the front porch of your house or whatever it is. Would you rather have done it or not done it? As in,
Mhm,
think about what choices you had in front of you. Would you regret not doing it or
mhm.
would you regret doing it? And most people regret not doing things, not taking the
Absolutely.
leap, not building the business, not writing the book, not quitting the job and doing something different or whatever, not pursuing their passion. Unfortunately, that is the trend when people get to a point in their age when they're just looking back on their life. So, those are the types of things that I help people with. A lot of people have maybe misconceptions about just how awesome they really are. So obviously you've got fear is one of them, belief is another. When you don't believe in yourself, if you don't believe that you can do it, if you don't believe that you can build that business or whatever that passion is, you're not going to go very far. So sometimes what I'll tell clients is borrow somebody else's belief until you build your own, right? So
Right.
for me, when I was starting to build my business into leadership and a keynote speaker and whatnot, I didn't know exactly if I was going to be successful. I was fearful. I didn't know if I was going to be any good. But fortunately for me, like I said, I had really good mentors. I had a great support system. And so they built me up, right? They were balcony people, not
Mhm.
basement people.
Right.
And so they built me up. And that belief that they had for me is what kind of kept me going until I kind of said, I think I can actually do this.
Okay.
And so my mentors were like, yeah, of course you can do this. We thought so all along, but you were the one that had to realize it. So I feel fear and belief are the bigger things, and those are the things that a lot of people will come to me for. And I would say third, Brenda, is the balance. Somebody asked me the other day of why do people join my program, and I told him a few reasons. I said the big thing is balance. because a lot of people, here comes fear, a lot of
Mhm.
people say, well, if I pursue this dream or this passion, how am I going to juggle it with, a spouse and kids and dogs and soccer practice and or whatever it is, whatever, taking care of an elderly mom or dad or whatever it is. They always try and figure out, like, what is that balance? How is that going to work? And that actually is the big thing that I help people break down, is their own sense of balance. Because
Mhm.
guess what? You can't have it all. Like you can
I
have,
believe that too.
yes, you can have it all. So yeah.
And that brings us to my next question is about how do you help people gain clarity? But before we talk about how you help other people gain clarity, could you talk to us about how you gain clarity that you wanted to be the keynote speaker and the leadership coach that you currently are?
Yeah, that's a great question, Brenda. What happened was I really kind of followed my heart. I know that sounds so cliche, right? But I kept looking back at what I love to do. And
Mm-hmm.
what I love to do was mentoring people, coaching people, speaking on stage. I'm one of those weird people who don't have a fear of speaking on stage. But, I really kind of said, I really like doing this. I love doing this. I was helping my coworkers. In fact, it even kind of started in high school. I started
Mm-hmm.
mentoring people and coaching people back in high school because I was in leadership organizations and whatnot. And really looked back at what I enjoyed. And that's actually what led me. So then it was like, okay, well, this is what I love to do, but how do I make a business out of it? How do I make a living out of it? And that is where I hired coaches. I had a coach named David who helped me with my speaking part of my business, and I had a coach named Carolyn who helped me with my coaching part of my business. So one was a coach, and one was a speaker. So I kind of put them together as like my dynamic duo mentorship team, and they helped me gain clarity. So it was a coach that actually said, "Okay, you've got these passions, you've got this love, but now let's build clarity on it. What do you want to do?" They started asking me the really good questions of the when, where, what, how do you want to make it impact? Why do you want to do it? You know, where does this come from? This passion, things like that. And so it did take me a little bit of time to gain clarity, but without any type of guidance, I would not have gotten there alone. Or if I would have, I probably would have struggled. And taking that approach is actually how I help my clients, because a lot of people, Brenda, do not have clarity. They just don't. And it's no fault of their own, right? It's just sometimes they get into a job or they get into a situation and they say, "Well, this is just how my life is going to go." And so they just don't have their eyes open to any other opportunities. There's no clarity. They're like, well, maybe I do want to do something different, but they don't know what or how. And that's actually where I come in, is helping them write the steps out. There's a particular process that I put them through. And when they're done, I mean, they have total clarity. They have complete roadmap of how to do it, when to do it, where to do it, why to do it, and all those kind of things. But I found that a lot of people have big dreams, but they
Mm-hmm.
just don't have the clarity. They have the passion, they want to do it, but they just don't know how, because they just don't have the clarity.
And I get that, which leads us to our sponsor, another sponsor in our commercial break here, which is the Ideal Journal by Lisa Deschamps. It says, unleash your creative potential. Ideal, imagine, dream, explore, and act. Inside this 52-week Ideal Journal, Lisa takes you through the process of writing down your ideals. Often we will have ideals for a particular thing when we're entrepreneurs, but we have no place that we keep them. In this journal, she has indexes and more so that you can refer back to your ideals, so that when you're working with someone like Kristie, you could bring those ideas and she can help you gain clarity. Kristie, one of the other things you mentioned early was about mentorship. And I believe it's important to reduce your learning curve by hiring a mentor. I use this particular picture because it made me think about how a coach will guide you through the terrains of all the things that is going on in your business or in your life, if it's a life coach, and that can help you shorten the learning curve so that you can get to where you want to go quicker with less obstacles. Could you talk about how you mentioned about your mentors, but do you currently have a coach?
Absolutely. I do currently have a coach. And it's something that I always tell clients. I say, beware of the coach that doesn't have a coach, right?
Mhm.
There's always a mentor behind all the good coaches. Now, they might not be talking to them on a daily basis or anything like that, but there's always somebody, quote unquote, in the back pocket of every really good coach out there. It doesn't matter who it is, whether
Right.
it's a top leading author, it's the top motivational speaker, top leadership person, whatever it is, they all have coaches and mentors, at least the good ones do. So yes, I absolutely do, because I hate to say the cliche, you don't know what you don't know,
That
but
is
right?
absolutely true. Hmm.
But it's true. And so for me, I always feel that there's something I can always learn. There's always some kind of realm of professional development that I don't know about. And I truly, truly dedicate a lot of my guidance and success to my mentors, to my coaches, because without them, Brenda, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. I'd probably be still years later spinning my wheels, watching some webinars or going on YouTube and saying, "Oh, I can do this myself." Because I don't know about you, but I'm the type of personality where I kind of want to do it myself, right? Like,
Yes, I'm that personality. You know,
no.
Kristie, I always, when I speak on here, especially on Face It Friday, because Face It Friday is really near and dear to my heart, because that's where I face the hard things that I really need to come to grips with. And for me, I have several different coaches that help me uh, do the things that I get to do, which is why I think it's important that we invest in yourself, that I invest in myself, in coaching, in leadership, in skills, professional help, mentoring, whatever it is. When you need to do something, if you're not willing to invest in it, how can you expect to profit? And I know that's one of the things that you talk about is crucial for people to invest in coaches. I have a relationship coach, a leadership coach. I have a coach for personal development. We're both members of the Super Connector Mastermind, which allows us to connect with other thought leaders and business owners. So I understand the importance of investing in my professional development as well as my mental development. And I have coaches in the mental health arena to help me with post traumatic stress. So, in that vein, how important would you say it is for people that were looking to get a success coach like you to hire them for themselves and for their businesses so that you can take their whole team to the next level?
Yeah, it's absolutely crucial, Brenda. It I can't speak highly enough of it because I've experienced it myself. I've been in coaching masterminds. I'm in a coaching mastermind. That's how we met.
Mhm.
And if you want to go quicker, if you would rather have success and maybe money or passion or that passion project, whatever it is, if you
Mhm.
want some type of results quicker rather than later, and let me add, less painful rather
Mhm.
than painful, then I would highly recommend you hire a coach, whatever it is. Like you said, relationship, business, success, leadership, public relations, it doesn't matter. Whatever it is that you're trying to get good at, hiring a coach is well worth the money. Because
Mhm.
let's talk about the two differences, right? So I said earlier about if I would have just done this on my own, I probably wouldn't be speaking to you. I wouldn't have had this level of success in my business. I would not be invited on podcasts constantly.
Mhm.
So that being said, would you rather spend a few years spinning your wheels, getting frustrated, listening to 100 different people on YouTube, attending 100 different webinars, reading a bunch of books? Okay, by the way, that was me.
Mhm.
So I'm speaking from experience. That
Mhm.
was me because I said, "Oh, I can do this myself." I mean, it's not like I felt it was an easy process, but I'm a smart person. I'm a high achiever. I
Mhm.
got drive, I got discipline. I can learn pretty much anything. But that may be true, and
Mhm.
that's awesome. But if you would rather spend time and probably wasted money on things that really aren't going to guide you, okay, that's your prerogative. But if you want to invest in your future and you really want whatever it is that you want that business, you want to get out of corporate, you want to improve your leadership journey, you know that you're made for more, then you're going to hire a coach because that is going to take you from 0 to 60 a lot
Mhm.
quicker. You're going to have a lot more aha moments.
Mhm.
And I have to add this, Brenda. I have a client in my coaching program right now, and she's a doctor, and she joined the program because in her job she wants to increase her leadership skills, and
Okay.
then she also wants to have a little bit more balance and clarity because she has a lot of passions in her life that she wants to go for.
Mhm.
Now, she was a little um she was on the fence about getting into the coaching program. A, because she's never been in a coaching program. She didn't know how it worked. And she was worried about the time and money investment. Okay, those are
Okay.
fair points, right? Fair
Mhm.
point. And so it was funny. She came back to me and said, "You know what, Kristie, I'm going to join. I'm going to do this. I've been putting stuff off. I've been spinning my wheels. Things aren't happening the way that I want them to. I'm just going to do it." I said, "Great."
Mhm.
It was just on the other day, we were talking on a coaching call, and she all of a sudden paused in the middle of our talking, and she goes, "Kristie, I just got to say, I can't I mean, I know that the program comes to an end at one point, but I want to know, how do I keep continuing, because I don't know how I went so many years without being in a coaching program." The amount of results she's gotten in 4 weeks
Mhm.
far surpasses what she's been knocking her head against the wall with for years. She was stunned at how quickly she was getting her results because she had somebody who believed in her, holding her accountable, giving her the roadmap, giving her some thoughts and things to think about. And she was blown away. She was like, I got to figure out how to keep doing this, because this is like a lifestyle. Like this, I want this to be part of my lifestyle where I'm constantly, guiding and coaching, and I want this to be my life for a little bit so I can really get ahead of what I'm passionate about. And I said, "Yes, yes, you get it. Thank you. You get it,"
Mhm.
because she's seeing the results. She's getting what she wants. And I was like, if more people heard that message, we would have a lot less people feeling stuck and frustrated in their current situations, whatever it is, and more people living the purpose-filled life that they've
Mhm.
always wanted.
I think the reason that it doesn't happen and the message is not getting out, Kristie, is because, like you and I both, we're both self starters. So we have a tendency to just go and do. We learn, we grow, we keep going. But what I tell my clients is we all have blind spots. That's why coaches need coaches. And for
Mhm.
those things that you can't see, a coach or a mentor can help you go to the next level quicker because they see the things that have been right in front of your face all the time because they're your blind spot. So coaches, by investing in the right coach. And I want to take us to shift gears a little bit to help some of the other entrepreneurs that may be watching us now that are saying, "Kristie, Brenda, that sounds great. You guys are already doing this, but can you give us some tips?" So I want to kind of have this, and I'm going to ask a couple of things. I want you to quickly give me your thoughts, and we're just going back and forth. One of the things I say it's important to understand that as a new person that's just starting out doing what Kristie's doing and what I'm doing, is number one, get clear is that you cannot work with everyone. Everyone is not a good fit for your particular coaching program, and to be okay with that. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's actually true. In order to get into my coaching program, I have a conversation with every single person. You can't go online and just click and get right into the coaching program. You have to be coachable. You have to want it. You
Mhm.
don't But here's the thing. You don't have to know what to do. That's the
Absolutely.
big thing. There are so many different people that are like, "Well, I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do." That's fine. That's what I'm here for. You
Absolutely.
just have to want it. That's the big deal, is you just have to want it, and you have to be, second thing, you have to be open-minded,
Mhm.
because we talk about things that other people don't hear or think about, because, if they had, they'd probably have a level of success that they want. But they have to be open-minded to new ideas, new processes, new thoughts, new ways of doing things, because it's that change in behavior that's really going to break your barrier to success.
And for okay, so we got to the part where to get clear for the new people watching, you cannot expect that everyone is going to be your client, number one. And number two, I said they have to get clear on who that client that they actually want is. What are your thoughts on that?
Yes, that is so important. Remember when I talked about working with my one mentor on my speaking business? His big deal was, who do you serve?
Mhm.
Who do you help? Be specific. So if there is something that you want to do in a coaching business or whoever it is that you want to serve, You have got to be crystal clear. What do they look like? What do they watch? What is important to them? What are their challenges? All those different things. You have to be very, very clear on who you serve, because here's the thing, the clearer that you are, the more people are going to understand who you serve. So, like me, the people that I usually serve are the ones that are in what you might consider white collar professional jobs, right? They've been in the job maybe 10 years or more, and they're unsatisfied for whatever reason. Two things: either they want to move up in leadership, that's their big goal, or they want to get out completely and create something else, whether it be a business or go into a completely different industry. So those are the two types of people that I serve. And it can be male or female. It doesn't matter their ethnicity, their background, or anything like that. Again, they just need to be open-minded and hungry for success. But it's very important to understand who you serve and who you don't, or who you don't want to serve. If you're a female and you just want to serve other females, then okay, then males are off the list. But just be clear, or if it's vice versa, just be clear on who you serve.
Now, do you just serve individuals, or do you serve groups and or small businesses as well?
Oh, good question. So both. So if you look at my title, it's success coach, keynote speaker, and leadership consultant. So the success coach is, my programs are group programs. So they're comprised of a bunch of professional individuals that are looking to move up into leadership or up level their life, their success. And that's in my program. The leadership consulting comes in where I go to different organizations. Now, my specialty is accounting and engineering, because I found that those folks didn't get as much leadership training or know-how when they were going up the ranks as in maybe some industries. However, I go into any organization. So, I mean, some of the organizations that you listed were not accounting or engineering.
Right.
So with that, I will go into a firm or an organization, and most of the time they bring me in and they say, Kristie, we want to get our people leadership ready. We've got some really high potential people. We've got high achievers, some driven people. We need them to understand leadership skills the right way, right? From the foundation up. And I say, okay, great. So I come in, and then what I do is that I help them get leadership ready. And so when they're done, they are a leg up on maybe trying to figure it out themselves, or their leaders trying to teach them leadership, because the managers and leaders are busy. They don't always have time to sit down and
that's why they hire you.
Exactly. They're so busy and the resources are tight. I mean, right now everything's really, really tight. So that's why they would bring in me, is to help those people get leadership ready, get them comfortable, pump up their communication skills, leadership skills, get them ready to start having direct reports.
Now, I know you do that in person, but I also know you have an online course. If I'm not mistaken, it's called Create Your Sweet Life. Could you talk about that for a minute?
Yes. Yeah. That's my most popular coaching program. So I've got another one called Rockstar Leadership, and that is for the very ambitious people. That is a year-long program. And I've got people in that right now. And Create Your Sweet Life is the most popular program that I have. It is online. And basically what it does is it takes you from beginning to end. It creates a roadmap. So remember when we talked about people, maybe not having the balance or the clarity or level of success in their life? That program, by the time you're done, you will have a very clear definition of where you're going, how you're getting there, what barriers you do have to break, right? Whether it's time or fear or lack of belief or whatever. That program is designed to give you every single tool that you need to achieve that level of success you're really looking for. And people love that program. It is a group program. You'll see other people in the program you can talk with, other professionals going through what you're going through, so you're not alone. But yeah, that is a full-fledged concierge type of level coaching program. And like I said, when people get out of there, they have more balance, they have more clarity, they have a complete roadmap of how they're going to get to where they want, building a business, moving up in leadership, moving into a different industry, whatever it is. And they're going to have a lot more focus and a lot better time management skills. So it's kind of a balance between personal and professional, right? So a lot of people talk about work-life balance. To me, it's all life. Work.
I say that all the time when I tell people
part
that.
of it.
it's so important to understand that your personal life and your business, although they're separate, they impact each other so substantially. Because if your personal life is jacked up, your business life is screwed.
Yep.
I have had people and guests that have disagreed with that, but that is why whenever I do talk to people, I would say in your personal and business life, because it runs so parallel that if you neglect one, the other is going to suffer one way or not.
Yes.
Kristie, you also have an amazing thing called the Create Experience Success and Leadership Retreat that I know is coming up sometime this year. I don't know how often you run that retreat, but could you speak about that as well? I'm running your website down at the banner because I want people to know where they go. And once that is done, I'm also going to put in here for those of you that would like to connect with Kristie. She has a free session that you can book a call. So I'm going to put that up here right now while Kristie's telling us about the Create Experience Retreat.
Yes, the Create Experience. We did it in 2021. We did not have it in 2022 because of, well, what was going on in the world. It was still some things that were going on. But the Create Experience is just that. It is a complete experience. Last time, it was about 3.5 days, and it was in Orlando, and it was a very intimate group. Like, I really did not want a ton of people at this retreat. So they all got very personal experience. We brought in speakers, we brought in a yoga instructor. And basically what happened was the people who attend this retreat are the people that are really, really serious about immersing themselves in an environment of positivity, professional development, personal development, and also connecting with other like-minded people.
Okay.
Right? So it was this literal whole weekend of positivity, setting goals, getting clear, and doing work sessions. Because let's just face it, we're all busy with doing whatever, right? We get busy, we say we got this dream, we'll achieve it, but we just don't work on it, right? Because we get sidetracked and distracted. The great thing about the Create Experience was we had it in this really great area. We had a pool, we had some night activities and things like that. And people were just able to turn everything off, work on their dreams, work on what it is that they really, really wanted out of life, and no judgment, right? Literally 3.5 days of no judgment zone. And so what happened is when they walked out of there, they felt transformed, they felt refreshed, they felt rejuvenated, and they had a very, very clear, I don't know if you're getting the theme here, clarity.
Clarity.
Yeah, they had a very, exactly, yeah. And they had a very clear picture of what they had to do, how they were going to do it, when they were going to do it, all those things. So it was a huge success. And by the first night, everybody was like, when are we going to do this again? When's the next one? Right. And I said, okay, well, we'll probably do it in 2023. So,
well, I don't want to interrupt here, but I know there's a waiting list for that because that is a program that is highly sought after. Can people go to your website right now and get on the waiting list for the Create Experience so that they have interest?
yes, I would highly recommend, because it is going to be limited availability. I am going to limit it again like I did last time. So it's not going to be a 100-person thing. You're going to have a lot of personal attention. So obviously I'm going to be there, hopefully have some more speakers on the docket so far as what we're kind of looking at. But yes, if you want to get on that waiting list, if you're interested, you're going to want to go to my website. You can go to Contact Kristie. You can fill out there's like a little thing, an email, it's very, very quick, and just say, hey, interested in the retreat, keep me posted, right? So something super quick, go to the website, contact me, email me and say, hey, Kristie, I heard about the Create Experience on Brenda's podcast, Face It Friday, and I really, really want to know when you're going to have it. Now, it probably will be sometime in the fall of this year. The location, I'm still finishing up those details, but it will be in the United States. It won't be, in Italy or anything yet. yet. Working on that, but because of still different things that are happening in the world, we're going to keep it in the US. And so yes, if you're interested in that, I would definitely put your name on the wait list, because last time we were pretty much to capacity pretty quickly too. So I would definitely suggest it.
But I do want to ask, because for those people that are saying, you know what, Kristie, this sounds really good, I do want to book that call. Can you basically just take a quick second and tell us what's entailed when someone does book one of these free sessions with you?
Yeah. So, Brenda, I wanted to offer that to all your listeners.
And I thank
And
you.
what that entails is it's a 50-minute call. That's a 50, not 15,
Oh, 50.
50 free strategy session with me. And so what you do is you just click on the link there. You can choose your time zone and all that kind of thing, and then schedule it based on your convenience. So that's the cool thing there. You have direct access to my calendar.
Okay.
And then the second thing that we'll do is once we get in the call, we talk about a few things. Where are you right now? Where do you want to be? And are you serious about getting there? I mean, that's
That's
literally
amazing. Yeah.
that's literally what that strategy session is. It's supposed I want it to be eye-opening. I want to talk about your goals. I want to talk about what are the barriers, what are the things that have been holding you back. And then we'll go over the next steps that you can take to take that success to the next level. Okay, if that's what you want, then let's talk about how to get there.
So
So,
before they make any investment in your coaching program, you're offering a 50-minute free session
yeah,
that will add value that they'll walk away with something tangible to be able to work towards their goal, whether they hire you or not.
yeah,
How
absolutely.
amazing is that? For those of you that are listening and cannot see what's coming up on the ticker, you go to KristieStocker.as.me/free session. And do not miss this opportunity because her schedule fills up very quickly. So you want to make sure you go out there. Kristie, I'm so excited that you took this opportunity to come here with me today. And I'd like to know, how does what you're currently doing to help all these people that come for your services help you live your best life now?
Oh, it, this is what I love, right? This is my passion. This is my purpose. And so it does create the life that I want. I mean, the more people that I serve, the more that I get people saying, "Kristie, I did this. Oh, I did that. I opened my business. Oh my gosh, it's thriving," or whatever. That's what lights me up. And when you put travel with it, because I am a bit of a travel person,
Mm-hmm.
when you put travel in it, I love going on different stages, speaking to different businesses. Next month, I'm speaking to Nokia on a webinar. They're out in
Yeah.
Dallas Fort Worth area.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's just I've talked to people in Lockheed. I've talked to people in national management and such. All sorts of people around the country, and just doing that, traveling, meeting new people, meeting people who are also living their best life or working on it, whatever it is. That's what lights me up. And I hope you take this to heart, whoever's listening, is if you're in a situation where you're not being lit up or something
Mm-hmm.
just isn't working for you, and you've got that passion that keeps eating at you like it did me, really, I just book that free session and let's just talk about it and let's see, where you can go with it, because I want you to be here saying the same thing that I'm doing. Like, I love my life. I'm living my passion. I'm living my purpose, because that is what lights me up. So I want that for you too.
That's amazing. And for those that's been on the show, this is where we tap in. I'm going to tell you how you can tap into Kristie. Now, how do you do it? You first do the T. That's transform. You transform your mindset to understand that now I'm ready to get the support I need from a coach that knows what they're doing so that I can level up my leadership, become unapologetically unstoppable, so I can live a life on purpose that lights me up. Then you get some accountability by announcing that I'm going to actually go and take that free 50-minute session and get some strategic plannings from Kristie. And you get the accountability from her so that you can move to that next level. Then you're going to you're going to prepare. How do you prepare? You sign up for this 50-minute session and see how Kristie can support you in leveling up on your leadership so that you can become the rock star leader that she knows that you're capable of being. Then you imagine what your life would be like once you have Kristie as your coach and mentor in your corner to help you go to the next level to live that purposeful life. And then you're going to nurture all of that so that you can live your best life now the same way that Kristie does and do what lights you up. Kristie, do you have any final thoughts or suggestions for our audience?
My final thought is take that rocking chair story to heart, right? The one that we talked about earlier.
Mhm.
And the second one is you are better than you think you are. That's something that somebody told me is an odd story. I was on a softball team and I struck out, and I come from a long line of softball players, right? And I struck out and I was so embarrassed. And one of the people on the team looked at me and said, "Kristie, you're better than you think you are." Because he could tell that I was nervous or I was having some kind of
Mhm.
fear. I don't know what was going on with me. And I still remember it to this day. So sometimes if you're feeling like you're not good enough or you can't achieve what that is that you really, really want, you really are better than you think you are. You have a lot more in you than you think you do, than you probably maybe give yourself credit for. Or if you do know that you are that good and that's great, you have that confidence, what are you going to do about it? How are you taking action on it? Because if you're still in the same situation that you were a year ago, then it doesn't matter how much confidence you have in yourself. If you're not taking action, then there's some kind of disconnect there. So one of the things that I tell clients or potential clients when they get on the phone call with me is they tell me the challenges that they're going through. And I said, hey, let me ask you a question. A year from now, will this be the same? And how will you feel? So if I were to call you a year from now and the same thing is happening, how are you going to feel about that? And that really gets people thinking, because you don't want to be in the same situation that you are exactly right now. I'm not saying that it's a horrible situation, but if there's something more that's driving you, then the last thing you want to do is look back on this day, particularly a year from now, and say, wow, nothing really changed. So what are you going to do about it?
That's absolutely true. And that leads us to thank you, Kristie, for joining me here on Talk to Me. As we on this Face It Friday, face it that mentors and coaches are something you should invest in for your own personal, mental, physical, spiritual, and financial well-being. Remember, the choices you make today will be the reality you live tomorrow. So choose wisely. Be blessed, everyone, and see you next time. Thanks, Kristie.